I don't remember a time ever in my life where I was not going to be a scientist. There's my master's and this is my PhD. Even when I was like in second grade, my friend's mom let us buy mice at his house and we could run experiments on them, and we had mazes and we taught them how to run mazes. And then they ate each other, so we had a really hard lesson in maintaining mice populations. But I don't, sorry. My name is Dr. Christy Beal. I am a lecturer at Rutgers University for the Gen Bio curriculum. So the ecosystem itself, so the ecology, is sort of a summary of all of the non-living, the water, soil, rocks in the system, and then all the living things. So everything all the way from the microbes in the soil, to the trees, to the photosynthetic creatures, to the things that eat those photosynthetic creatures, to the things that eat those things. And you're really asking me, where do insects fit in that? Everywhere. What people see insects as is you don't notice them until you see a lot of them. 65 to 70% of a plant can be completely destroyed before anyone notices that insects have destroyed it. And we always think about them in forests and streams. Those are the ones we like. But in your basic backyard, it is absolutely full of insects if you have green. So you're having, hopefully, a bunch of predators, a bunch of prey species, a bunch of herbivores, a bunch of carnivores, but also they're providing food for all of the vertebrates that move through. When you take your backyard and you spray it, and you have this beautiful green golf course situation, you have no habitat for birds, you have none of the things that you like, and you end up getting a lot of the things that you don't like insects that eat grass. You get like a grub problem. But if you make your backyard, your habitat really complicated, you build an ecosystem and you build layers to it and you invite insects in, and it actually keeps out some of the things you don't want because they're not allowed to get such a strong foothold because there's too much complexity in the community, and that community is very stable. I'm okay with saying bugs as a generic term. There is a group of insects, the true bugs. Anything with this feeding rostrums, they're bugs. And bug to me actually means that. That's what I picture when I think bug. But I don't think it's bad if it gets you talking and comfortable and familiar with talking about insects or arthropods as bugs, shrimps as bugs. What it's doing is bringing that into the common zeitgeist, you know, the being aware of them as part of your world. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. If you were my grad student, no. But if we're having just a discussion, yeah, we're talking about it. That's perfect. It's perfect. So a couple different things that I expect to find in sort of rotting logs around here are things like termites or ants, but you never find them together. It's just going to be a mess. You see that? That's the milk in the milkweed, and it's super sticky, but it's also got cardiac glycosides in it. It's the same chemical they use to stop hearts during open heart surgery and things. So that's why monarchs make you sick if you eat them. Like, it kind of stinks to be a female aphid in the spring because you're just going to explode. It's definitely a bug. So you can see the hemelytra on it. The problem with entomology is there's literally just billions of things.
Something about the tent caterpillars?
People will talk to us just because you have a camera and a boom.
Yeah.
Right? The eastern tent, so they're not as bad as the gypsy moths would come later.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah, these guys are I don't think anybody's left. We've joked about this for years. Entomologists have something wrong with the part of their brain that is supposed to recognize insects as something to be afraid of. Well, you're lost, little dude. Oh, here, come on. We're sort of programmed to be afraid of them if we notice other people are afraid of them. So when I had my child, and my child was like 2, we saw insects and we loved insects and we held them up and we smiled, and it didn't work. My kid is terrified of insects. We used to sit on the porch and just point and scream at ants and like cry.
Can I swear?
Yeah.
They scare the shit out of me. She doesn't do it anymore, but she used to bring home bugs. I don't like it. I wish it was something else, but it's fine. It's fine. It's kind of her fault.
You were already scared.
It's a little bit. I don't think you put bugs on my face.
All I wanted was to put a 4-inch long insect on the face of my child, which sounded, now I hear that sounds scary, but at the time I was like, why? We did all the desensitization. I took my child to collect insects. Well, it's very reasonable, I thought.
This is like a big bug.
I think there is an inborn fear. I think there's a social fear. I think that some of them are actually dangerous. Mosquitoes can kill you. Malaria kills more people on the planet than almost anything else. Cockroaches in your house, they don't bite and cause disease, but they actually spread disease. Other things like the kissing bug, oh my goodness, transmit Chagas that can just kill you. That I think there is a really real reason for being afraid. I think the other side of that is people are not familiar with the ones that are not something to be afraid of. So people end up being afraid of butterflies because they think they might bite them. I've seen people afraid of dragonflies because they have a pointy abdomen. They're not, and they do this when they fly around, they tap you. They're looking for an egg-laying surface. They're not going to penetrate you and lay eggs in you.
Dragonflies.
Uh-huh.
There's so many amazing things about them. Some of the first flying insects, dragonfly. That's contrary to evolution. Evolution is you start simple and you get better. The dragonflies are the best.
They're scary predators because they got the little basket legs.
For predators like lions are like 50%, wolves are 40%, and dragonflies are like 98% of what they go after they get. I wrote a little article about them. I don't believe it happened by chance, those critters. I believe that God made them.
They are beautiful things.
I'll go down there and...
Dragonflies and damselflies are certainly extremely accomplished flyers. Their large eyes allow them just about total vision in all directions. But could dragonflies and all their amazing features have arisen by natural causes?
This physical universe is not all there is. There must be a God. Since God is so great, it is reasonable to believe that he is superior to us in all ways. There will come a day when God will judge us to see who is fit to inhabit a new and better world where justice and love will prevail.
You might want to use the internet to look up Bible-believing churches in your area.
I think that it's very easy to get in this idea that everything has to be beautifully perfected, and that turns a lot of people off to sciences. So I actually ended up applying for teaching jobs, which I had initially not wanted to do, and those teaching jobs allowed me to incorporate entomology and sort of all the diversity and ecology that I love, which really bringing people into it and kind of, I don't know, I always feel like I'm sucking them into this how the world is so complicated and made up of these tiny little things, and the tiny little things is what I love, but I also love sharing and having people realize how complicated things can really be. You see how his little legs are in the front? See his legs? We didn't go anyplace fancy, and yet we found a ton of different things there. It's hard to see at first, but once you start seeing them, you'll see them everywhere, and that's a good thing. I find that I love them, and the more I learn, the more elegant and beautiful I find them. Yeah, you know, it's infinite. It's functionally infinite. You could study your entire life, one small little niche thing, and never ever run out of a new thing. Every day something could be new. Or you could delve into the tiniest little piece and understand this little fragment of how, you know, life works and the universe works, and it's very appealing. There's no big answer there, but there's little tiny pieces that kind of feed into this understanding of how complex everything is. I love it. I enjoy the little things that make the big things possible.